because real estate's not an easy area to get into. I just did a one-on-one consultation today with a brother who had made a real estate deal. It ended up putting him about $1 million in debt, and he was trying to figure out how to get out of the debt. And so fortunately, he has over $1 million in assets, so his net worth is still positive. But we were talking about the fact that, when you make that kind of a move, make sure you get people, give them a little bit of money, pay some people that know what they're doing, because most people that really know what they're doing don't come cheap or free. A lot of the people you pay for don't even really have experience. Like university professors, a lot of times have never run a business. Many of them have never worked for a business. So if you're going to pay a bunch of money, $100,000 to go to college and learn from professors who don't have any experience, then why would you go out in the real world and not be willing to make an investment to hire people that know what they're doing to guide you through some of the most important investment and business decisions that you make? That can make a huge difference. So I say, if you go into real estate, get somebody that you know or somebody you find who knows real estate. Go to theblackrealestateschool.com if you're interested. At theblackrealestateschool.com, they have a whole bunch of real estate experts who are Black, and pay one of them. Tell them, I want to pay your consulting fee if you'll come with me and work with me to help me get this deal done. It might cost you a few $100, but the benefit is that you're not going to make that $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 mistake. This guy literally that I talked to this morning is almost $1 million in debt because he got into a real estate deal that was bad, because he said it sounded good with the people that were talking to him about it, but he didn't understand the dynamics of the deal like he thought he did. So get some help. Make sure you get some help. Katricia says, it's taking out a small loan to get your idea to start your business off the ground. I think taking a small loan is okay. A big loan is not. I wouldn't take a big loan unless you had to, unless you knew you could pay it back in case everything just fell on its face. Always do a what if scenario. Ask yourself, if this totally flakes and totally flops, am I going to be all right? If the answer is yes, then go for it. If the answer is no, be very, very careful. Last question, and then we're going to get into the lecture. James Ballantyne, if you had 10 grand to invest, would you invest it all at once in a diversified portfolio, or would you invest small amounts at a time? I'd invest it all in a diversified portfolio unless I had a great business idea, in which case I might sit it to the side as working capital, which is basically money to allow me to run my business. Working capital is just money that you need to buy your inventory or maybe pay somebody, a contractor, whatever it is, whatever it takes to get that product out the door, to get the customer, make the sale, and make the move. So I'm a big fan of entrepreneurship. I think entrepreneurship is the most fun experience ever. It's certainly much more fun than working for white people. And I'm not being racist. It's just true. I didn't like the racism. I found that when I got a chance to really explore the possibilities of entrepreneurship, I felt very flexible. I felt like, wow, I can have whatever career I want. I just have to develop a business model around it. And that's the type of freedom I think a lot of us don't ever get a chance to experience. And that's the kind of freedom I want your children to have, which is why I put together this lecture on how to turn your child into a millionaire. Because I'm going to tell you like this, point blank period, if your child is financially sophisticated and your child is sitting on a bunch of assets, and I'm going to teach you how to accumulate hundreds of thousands in assets for your child by the time they're 30 years old. If they're sitting on a bunch of assets and they got a lot of financial intelligence and they got some discipline, watch out. Watch out. That child is going to be unstoppable. They're gonna literally be unstoppable. And you know who actually applied this model? I created this model for Black people, but one of the families that applied this model is actually the Trump family. That's why Donald Trump was 25 years old, able to buy $1 million buildings at 25 and shake up the whole city of New York, because he had financial education at an early age. He has some assets, and he's a little bit bombastic and crazy, and he's not the politician I would pick, but he's very, very, if nothing else, he's very bold. He's not afraid of much of anything. And I would say that, you imagine a Black version of that, a more disciplined version. I think Barack Obama actually is a very bold person in certain ways, or very disciplined anyway, right? And so imagine a Barack Obama with the financial intelligence, with $1 billion like a Donald Trump. Maybe that's what your child can become. And it's up to you to decide if you want your child to be that person or not. It starts with the parents. If the parents don't give the children what they need early, the children won't have a chance to excel. But if the parents do some things early, then that's when you create greatness. That's what happens with Tiger Woods' daddy. That's what happens with Venus and Serena Williams. That's what happened with Beyonce. Her father, Richard, I think his name is Richard, or Matthew, got her started when she was, a baby, an infant. And so what you got to do is decide, what do I want my child to be? Steph Curry, the basketball player, he's greatest player, one of the greatest players in the NBA. He became great because his father, Dell Curry, got him started at an early age.